Welcome to the October 2016 video update for PHHS High School. Thanks for taking the time to view the update. This month we're going to start out a little differently. I've been trying to have student groups or students come to the update with me and kind of talk about what their groups are doing or some experiences that they've had recently. And typically I have them at the end, but we're going to start this month with the update from a student and some of the things that they've experienced here recently. And this month I have Jessica Myers with me. Jessica's a junior here at PHHS High School, and as a sophomore, Jessica was selected to attend something called Hobie Leadership Conference, and it's something that we have had students going to for a long time, and it's been a part of Ohio leadership for young people for a long time. But I'm going to have Jessica talk a little bit about the Hobie leadership part of it, and then some other things that Jessica took the initiative to work through herself and some other things that she experienced this past summer in relation to Hobie and some other things. So to start off, Jessica, why don't you tell the people that may be watching this update a little bit about, number one, how you were selected or the process to become the representative for Hobie leadership, and then a little bit about where it was and how long it lasts and some of your experiences there.
Okay. I applied to go to this conference my sophomore year. And I turned my application in, and Mr. West pulled me aside and told me that I'd been selected to go to the State Leadership Conference. And at this conference, it was 4 days and 3 nights at Ohio Northern University. And going into it, I didn't really know what to expect because they don't really tell you what you're going to. They just say you're going to a leadership conference, and then you go. So you're pretty blindsided. So I was a little nervous going into it, and I didn't know anybody. It's local schools in Ohio, and I went to the Ohio West one, so it was a lot of schools in the western side of Ohio. And I went, and it was made up of, like, Hobie is a leadership and community-based, and so local schools, you learn leadership skills, and we went on a community service day, and you build a lot of friendships from schools all over Ohio. So during my time here, there were a lot of motivational speakers and panels, and they talked a lot about diversity and adversity. Each day there was a theme, and those were some of the themes that we had. And then we went on a community service day one of those days, and I went with the organization Glamour Gals, where you painted nails with the elderly at an assisted living home and built relationships with the elderly, and that was super fun. And that was pretty much my state seminar.
Yeah. Good. And I've had a chance to visit with Jessica about some of her experiences already, and she shared lots of great experiences there at Hobie. But one of the things I wanted her to come and talk about today is she took the opportunity to further her involvement in leadership as a young person throughout the summer with her attendance to another conference, which is pretty amazing. So I'm going to let her tell you that story on how she did that. So go ahead.
When I was done with my state conference, there was an opportunity to go to the World Leadership Congress, and that was an international conference with 17 countries located in Chicago. So I went home when I got home from my state seminar, and I applied to go to the World Conference, and I got my email coming back saying that I got a spot. So in July, I attended a week-long seminar in Chicago at Loyola University, and I was, again, blindsided going into this one because I was like, is it going to be like the state seminar, or is it going to be different? I wasn't really sure what was going to happen. It was a lot like the state seminar, but it was super cool because there was 400 kids there. There was 300 from the U.S. and 100 from other countries. There was China, South Korea, Mexico, Canada. There was Argentina. There was lots of different countries there. So it was really cool to see how everyone else and how they lived their life and talking to some of them, which was super cool. And I have so many friends even now in different countries. So I still talk to them every single day. And at this conference, there was lots of motivational speakers again. They had some more panels. We had 2 community service days at this one. The first one we went out to a local park in Chicago, and we picked up trash and swept the tennis courts and painted fences and cleaned up the parks for a couple hours. And then my second community service day, we packaged food for 50,000 families in Chicago through the organization Feeding Children Everywhere, which was super fun and super cool and inspiring. And yeah, that was super fun. And like, I know coming out of both of my seminars, they were just so inspiring. Like, just they empower you to do so much more that you didn't think you were capable of.
So the trip to Chicago in the summer, this is a necessary part of the story to tell what Jessica did to get herself there. It wasn't free.
No,
and
it was not.
so you had to take that upon yourself to secure the funding. So
yes.
Why don't you talk a little bit about how you did that?
It's actually really expensive to go on this Chicago Hobie International thing. So I wrote a letter with the help of the staff at Patrick Henry, and I sent it out to local businesses and asked people if they wanted to support me in my journey to go to WLC. And I got sponsors from lots of different local businesses, and I raised all the money to go to WLC by them, and I didn't have to pay anything. So that was super cool.
Yeah, what a great part of the story that you took the initiative to say, I want to go do this, and then you took the initiative to say, I'm going to figure out how I'm going to fund this.
Yes.
So yeah, that's just a great part of everything, all the experiences you had, because that in itself is an experience. Part of it. So just off the top of your head, you used the word empowered regarding some of the information you got and some of the speakers you heard. What are some things that maybe you're going to just pack away for later use, or maybe things you're even thinking about now as you move through your junior or senior year and into college that maybe you'd want to put into action, or you'd want to reflect upon, or be able to draw back upon?
Yes. At Hobie, I mean, it teaches you a lot of lessons that you'll use your whole life. Like, I will never forget my experience. And I mean, they told us, like, your actions and what you do will reflect your life forever. So you need to be smart by the things you choose and what you do. That'll influence the rest of your life. So that really stuck with me. And I know, like, especially after going with the Glamour Gals organization the one day, I was so inspired, and they said, hey, like, you can take this back to your local community. You can open up your own chapter. Like, this isn't a one-time deal. You can continue this for years and years. So I actually came back, and I'm in the process of, like, bringing my own chapter to our area and trying to inspire others like I was inspired by them. And so that's definitely something I'm really passionate about.
Good. So actually, this year we've already started the process for the nominations for Hobie, and we are looking at applications and evaluating them the same way we do each year. But you just shared with me that you hope to be there again this year.
Yes, I just applied to go back to the state seminar and the world seminar in hopes of becoming a section leader next year. So we'll hope that goes through.
Good. Well, Jessica, thanks for taking the time here to share with us here at the beginning of this update about your experiences. Before I move on, is there anything else you want to say, or? Okay.
I don't think so.
All right, good. Well, thanks a lot, Jessica, and I know the next year and a half here will be you'll have some ideas for us, and you'll stay involved, and so I do hope you get that opportunity to go back this summer. I'll spend the rest of the time just going over some general updates for the building for the month of October 2016. Those of you that have been out here recently notice that our front doors are now open, though not all the construction's done with the front and the remodeling of the front entrance. We have opened those for use. So those are open from 8 to 3 for use of drop-off for late students or pickup for students that are leaving early. Students are to enter the building in the morning before school still on the east end, and also leave that way out to the student parking lot through the east end of the building. The front entrance, the first set of doors are unlocked. The second set of doors are the locked doors. So when you enter, turn to your left through the first set of doors and ring the buzzer, which will get you in, get you through to the high school office. I also want to mention that between the last update and this update, there's been quite a bit of information that's been sent out or been in the newspaper or even on TV about district report cards. And in the paper version of the update for the high school for October 2016, I have a link to look at the report card that is connected to us here. And if you have any questions about that, please go ahead and give me a call or email me, and I'll do my best to explain that information to you. Second item, I guess, in regards to some of that in communication here is just as a reminder. I know I've mentioned this before in our updates, but our counseling department has restructured. So Mr. Todd West handles 10th, 11th, and 12th graders, and then Mrs. Anita Heber handles our 9th graders along with the middle school. And we've delegated some other duties to each person. So just kind of be aware of who you need to contact if you want to contact your student's counselor here at the high school. In regards to new graduation requirements, again, something that I have talked about quite a bit on these updates and also on the paper updates. But beginning with the class of 2018, students have different pathways to graduation. And one of those pathways involves students taking a mandatory state readiness exam for college. And we know that not all of our students are going to college, but this is mandated that they take the exam. We decided here to take the ACT. So our juniors will take the ACT here on our campus for free on March 21st. And those scores will be used as part of that district report card that I mentioned earlier. And also it's one of those pathways. If a student scores high enough on those different areas of that ACT, that is a pathway to graduation. Please check out our website for further explanation on those pathways to graduation, because those are going to become really important for the junior class, and as we continue to look at the different students and where they're at and the point totals and the different other pathways for graduation. Also wanted to mention that we will again on November 11th have our annual Veterans Day Assembly, Veterans Day program. That program will begin at 9:15 here at the high school in the gym. At 8:15, veterans and their families are welcome to come to a breakfast in the cafeteria. At that breakfast, the National Honor Society will help serve, and we'll have some entertainment for you at that time. So again, Veterans Day Assembly here, November 11th, starting at 9:15 in the gym. You are free to enter through the front doors, and we will have breakfast that morning for veterans and their families, starting at 8:15. A few other updates. October 28th is the end of the first 9 weeks, and November 2nd we have a scheduled 2-hour delay. And we talk about the end of the 9 weeks. Parents, guardians, please do take advantage of Power School and that parent portal to stay on top of grades. And if you're unsure on how to access that, please email our tech department at techdept@phhhs.org. Well, thank you for taking the time to look at this month's update, and I thank Jessica here for being part of the update. Have a good day.